This show is proudly brought to you by Audio Pub. Sir Nigel, hello.
Good morning, Melbourne.
Melbourne today. We tour everywhere. It's hard to know sometimes where we are. It sounds like a John Belushi sort of Animal House quote.
It does, and of course we're given the theme of today's show away, which is episode 2 of the 2020 first big story arc on Shooting the Strings.
Yes.
Classic. Oh no, you need to do it.
Oh,
we need to do this properly, ladies and gentlemen. One moment.
Classic. Oh, sorry.
That's just volume. I need reverb.
Classic albums.
It is, and it was my turn to choose this week.
It was, Sir Nigel. What did you come up with?
I've come up with something that's been a bit controversial in the workplace this week. I now work with some good musicians.
Yes.
And they're going, you have to be kidding me. Like, of all the albums, and of course they quote the most remarkably musical things, and I've got a very solid reason for my number one album in this series being the Blues Brothers movie soundtrack.
Most excellent. Lucky I got the background right today too.
How could that possibly have happened?
I know.
And luckily you're familiar with the arts of the blues too, I have to say.
A little bit, yes. So why did you pick this record, Sir Nigel?
Look, there's a bunch of reasons, as often happens on Shooting the Strings, weaving things together as you do.
Yes.
And one of them is it's the 40th anniversary. So filming for the Blues Brothers ceased today, 40 years ago.
Is that right? How about that?
So there's very spooky, we invoke the gods and the dead in this case, unfortunately, with Mr. Belushi. Mr. Belushi. May someone rest his soul, just for a moment.
We had the Belushi lattes from St. Ali's this morning. They have the special Belushi latte, so we're feeling pretty... we're ready to go.
We're on it. That buzzing sound is actually the Colonel this morning. If you can hear it, it's not.
Can I help myself?
So I've chosen it because I think albums, and that's why we've chosen albums as a theme, are special.
Yes,
and it's lost. It's been lost since Napster hit us.
Yes.
So 1999, so 20 years ago, was the end of the album as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
And I'd like to see it come back because an album is a story.
Yes.
You hear a lot of people who are very learned talk about this, about the last track on side one. This is my favourite kind of album, kind of trivia thing, is how good that last track on side one has to be to tempt you to get up and turn it over. And I think a lot of time went into constructing it, and I'm pretty excited actually. I saw this week you've recreated your album from the 1980s yourself.
Almost. We were mucking around in the 80s, but more 90s. But it's coming out. Yeah, I'm beginning the hype process now.
It is. I'm pretty excited about this. Fat Ego, well-known Brisbane band with a great headline in the Brisbane Herald or whatever it was when you.
I think it was the Herald. Yeah. So digging. Thanks to my mother who keeps all these paper clippings from. That's 50, 60 years ago. But at some point we'll do a show, maybe. We'll see.
It'll be a cross between Shooting the Strings, Antique Archaeology, the Antiques Roadshow, and Best of the 80s.
Best of the 80s. It just missed out on the top 500 albums of all time, 501.
Right. Yeah. Which is weird. And the Blues Brothers album did make the Rolling Stone top 500.
Yes.
And the reason is it tells a story because it's evocative of the movie, which they come in a pair. You've seen them both.
Yes.
The movie was, panned on release.
Was it?
Very, very well. Because it was going it's a thin plot. It's car chases connected by bits of music. That wasn't the intent. The intent was to celebrate the art of the blues. And the fact that the story does hold together is so memorable. This movie has launched more one-liners and witty movie quotes than I think any other movie in history. It's got tragedy associated with it. It's a cult movie. It's a great story. And look, when you look at the ensemble that they pulled together, So I just think the Blues Brothers band, which is where it all began, was a band, Belushi and Aykroyd and
Yes.
and their mates, and Belushi's learning of the blues whilst filming Animal House.
Yeah, right.
So getting to know some authentic blues players and then just going nuts on it.
And I think it was a Saturday Night Live skit or something.
Well,
we didn't really get that.
So
yet, but-
because I'm a master of the trivia, I can tell you exactly what happened. Is that Aykroyd and Belushi and a couple of the guys in the Saturday Night Live band put something together, and they were playing and having great fun. And gee, they're solid musicians. And they couldn't get the producers to actually let them come on the show with it.
Oh, right.
So they let them
that.
do the warm-up of
Yeah.
the show before the show starts, just to entertain the audience and get them hyped, those sort of things. And then one day, I'm not sure when it was, 79 maybe, an episode came up 3 minutes short.
Oh.
And they're panicking. Going, what? Oh my God, what are we going to do?
Blues
Put the boys on.
Oh.
And the audience reaction was insane.
Wow.
And that was it. That was the beginning. The King Bee. They released King Bee as an album, as a song. That's I'm
Yes.
a king bee buzzing around your hive with them dressed in bee costumes.
Bee costume?
From another skit.
Oh, right.
So that's where the
okay.
costumes came from.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool.
And
I know that film clip of him as in the bee outfit.
Yep. So that's was it Slim Harpo to King Bee? So that
Yes, it was.
Look,
Yes.
their veneration of an art there, and they're bringing together the most stunning ensemble cast for a giant amount of money,
Yes.
making a movie that looked like a complete debacle.
I think
it's
it was
gone on
the-
to make $115 million.
I think it was the most expensive comedy ever made at that point.
Yes,
It's probably still up there.
and a lot of the critique came from nobody knew if it was a comedy or not.
Yes.
Is it a comedy? Oh, what is this? A music movie? And Man Theatre, MANN, disgraced themselves for all time by refusing to run it because they didn't want black people, mingling outside their movie theatres
Is that right?
for a race music movie. I mean, they like, hold on, it's 1980, not 1960. And so they really...
I thought that was last year over there. There you go.
So they had a terrible time on the launch, and movies were all about the launch and then tail off.
Yes.
They also foolishly launched the movie at the time. Something else came along. So last week's album...
What was the other one? That came
So last
along?
week's album,
Yes.
which was Lust for Life,
Yes.
was launched the same year as Star Wars,
That's right.
Episode 4.
Yes, unfortunate.
This week's album was launched the same week. The movie that this album is based on was launched the same week as The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh,
Like,
right.
for you Star Wars nerds, there's this continuity Star Wars thread running through our show at the moment.
Ooh, maybe for the next album, I'll have a look at what was launched around Return of the Jedi. Oh my God.
Now, has anyone bothered
Yes.
to dial in this morning?
We've got a couple of people on. Let's have a look. Andrew Horn says, "Sup, homies." That's
Sup,
young
homies?
person.
I'll tell you
speak.
what's sup. It's the Blues is sup this morning.
Blues is sup. Nat Abood is on.
Natty.
One of your disciples.
Indeed. Wow. Former colleague.
Former colleague. Tiana Lilly, she's been on before.
Great.
Hello, she says, good morning, gentlemen. Hello,
Tiana.
Michael Green. Paul D is on.
Paul, are the rumours true? Because we have collected ourselves this morning the finest in the shop telecasters, and we're thinking that maybe they are just a little bit pale in comparison to something I saw on Paul D's Instagram feed.
Do you have something that looks a little bit like this one with one pickup?
This shape.
You need to bring it to your colonel immediately.
If you don't follow Paul D on Instagram, I recommend it. It's guitar art.
Yeah, Paul D.
And look, that man is saving the universe one guitar at a time.
He's pretty cool.
He's our very own Joe Bonamassa.
Are you over in the US at the moment, Paul D? Or are you still here? Mark Teague says hello. Whiskey and a chicken. I've still got to get my brother-in-law to do some t-shirts. Now, so Nigel, should we do a song?
Well, let's get into it. So there's so many songs that made this movie.
Yeah, lots of hits of it.
Bizarrely, it's hard to get on Spotify because some of them are unlicensed to Spotify, so you can't get the whole soundtrack album on Spotify.
I had to do that with Mr. Charles.
Yeah.
Mr. Ray. So
You used to have it, didn't you? And I think you gave it to JB instead of Wages one day, so...
possibly. I gave him God knows what I've given JB. I hope you can get it cleared up, though.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do a song, and then I've got the piece of trivia that will have Neil Boland rolling out of bed,
Wow.
jumping onto the floor, grabbing his Telecaster, and running down here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's serious. Oh, I'm going to tail on something to Nigel's trivia. I have a trivia question.
Oh, brilliant. Let's do that while we play.
Two colonels on the show today. One right here.
Yeah.
Who is the other colonel? Should we do
That's a tough
Everybody
one.
Needs Somebody?
Everybody
Needs somebody.
Now, what I love about these songs
Yes.
is they are big band songs,
Definitely.
and yet they're equally bluesy. You can do them small.
You can. Should we have a look?
Can you show me the chords?
Let's have a look at the chords. I won't run the amps at the moment.
No.
We'll go acoustic.
Yeah.
So it's actually in the key of F, but it starts on the C chord. So it starts on the 5, and so I'm going to play it up here. So it's a C.
Okay, I need to use all the fingers.
Let's go. We'll make it sound.
Yep.
Then we're going to go to the. Yep, that's the F, and then down to a B flat.
Oh, we're in the gaps between the dots, Colonel. That's a bit
Yep.
confusing.
It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick.
Can that get?
I've got a lot of delay on my sound.
You've got
today.
some echo going on.
I've got some
there,
echo.
my
I
friend.
might switch that now. And the only other part to that is an A minor
Yeah.
to. Oh, let's have a listen. There we go. To an F. So down to here.
Oh, you want to do it? So we can do an A minor there.
Yeah, you could do. Sometimes I feel F. And back to A minor. And then a G. And then back to the music.
Oh, it's a little.
It's one of those. It's a rub your head and. Oh no! Pat my head and rub my tummy.
The Alan Leslie's rubbing his head this morning after a big night out. He's had a tough one. Morning, Alan. Sorry you can't join me for coffee afterwards because you had such a big night. I just want you to know, 2 nights in a row, mate.
Oh
2 gigs in a row.
Oh my goodness! Is Alan still? Is he still drinking? Is he
He's
still
poorly.
working?
He's poorly. He's still got a job.
Oh, that's good.
Job not blooming pick, but
Is it a blue sparkly one?
is it it's way under the couch. I've got another one.
That's it. All right, folks, we're going to do it. This is Everybody
Needs somebody to love. That's our message
to
of peace and
love.
love this morning too.
And Mark Teague's already got it. Steve Cropper, yes sir,
Yeah.
you've got it. Here we go, folks.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
That's it. Who can not?
Sir Nigel.
I don't care about the state of the economy, the state of the atmosphere in Australia, or global warming because I'm just made happy by some great blues.
That's kind of fun.
That is cool.
Very much fun.
I didn't realise it was anywhere near that kind of simple and fast. Actually,
It goes along.
Nice
very,
decoding there,
very
Colonel.
quickly.
Nice decoding.
Yes, sir. What are you playing today? by
I
the way?
have chosen myself I am just really a jackdaw. I've just been to the shop and chosen the shiniest thing I could possibly find,
Yes, sir.
which happened to be in a Telecaster shape, and it's just the most gorgeous blue. I don't think it's showing up very well on the screen for the visitors.
Yeah.
But it is I'm guessing, pretty much brand new Fender Telecaster. And
Telecaster, yeah.
it is just gorgeous. It's light. It's everything clicks.
That's
and
one of
it's
that's
beautiful. What's the story with it?
2019 Sonic Blue Fender 50s telly.
Yeah.
And someone's just bought it and then decided they wanted something even more expensive and went back and
As you do.
but kept that rather than exchanging it, you know.
Right.
So
Well, no, that's a very good idea, because this can now be someone else's.
yes,
Someone who's brave enough to jump on stage with a guitar of this colour, and wow, it's quite something. It's quite something.
Now just excuse me 1 second.
I'm going to do my live music report while you do that, because I am very proud of actually having been out twice this week. So I'm very lucky to have a family and a broader connection of lots of young people who play live music. And finally, I decided to go to Bunnings and get a small packet of cement and put it in a cup of tea and HTFU and actually get out there, because unfortunately these kids are getting good and they're now the final act at gigs.
Yes,
so one has to be prepared for them going on at 11 p.m. or that kind of an hour. So when you do have a daytime job, that's not much fun. I saw the Lovefish and Mudshaker. Mudshaker are they're like something between Led Zeppelin and the Doors, and there's just three of them. Astonishing. Check them out on Spotify. Beautifully mixed album.
Are they buddies of
Yes, they
Noah's?
are. They're still mates of Noah's, and they're like, man, they just really clever for three of them. Really pounded the beats so hard that they basically collapsed the drum kit at the Globe Alley venue, much to the chagrin of poor Ben from the the Lovefish, who came on next, to find that the pedal was broken. And can you imagine trying to play a funk kind of a swing gig, as the Lovefish do, with no bass drum?
No.
That was so. That's the sign of professional musicians, I reckon. Is anyone who can soldier on with three strings broken, and you're not playing punk, because that never mattered. You probably forgot to put the three on.
Yes.
Soldier through, still produce a good set, and so that was Thursday night. I was home at like 1:45. That was ridiculous.
That
Backed
is
up
young person time.
Yeah, it is, and backed up last night by a local gig. Thank goodness didn't have to go into the city. Pearl and Lily Harneth of the famous Harneth family.
Yes.
Hothouse Studios, all those kind of things. Those two ladies have the most astonishing guitars, which I think their dad organised for them.
Oh right, very nice.
Pearl plays the Pearl Harneth Pearlcaster.
Lovely.
Which is a handmade one-off tally with a. So he came across a vintage. When Gibson made the small humbucker pickup? When was that?
You mean the P9?
No, it's a mini humbucker.
Oh, the mini humbucker. That they came out on the deluxe Les Paul 69, 69, 70.
I think her dad found one.
Oh right.
And has made this guitar, which I think is the perfect combination. Is the back pickup?
Yes.
I could offer a mini humbucker here, and a telly pickup here.
Yeah.
And the mix between the two of those. That's it.
That's awesome.
I want one of those.
That's cool.
But there's only one of them, so I can't have it. So they played a set last night and rocked the SB.
Lovely.
And I was in bed by 12:30, so that was pretty good.
Speaking of hothouse, was it hot down in that little room in the SB?
Oh my God, it's been hot all week, hasn't it?
Oh, if you are watching from somewhere else, it is like Darwin in Melbourne at the moment. It is humid.
It's not good.
And we've got the aircon on. I'm dripping.
What's your telly?
We sweat. I have a custom shop, 1960 relic from 2015.
So the 50s, did you say, or 60s? This is based on.
That's a 50s. That's a 50s, because the 50s will have the maple board, and then they got to 5960, and they switched around to the rosewood. So this is a 2015 custom shop relic.
It is beautifully
It's a beautiful guitar. Yeah,
it is not just some hacker relic. It's done a fabulous
lovely
job.
Nitro. So, look, this is a few more dollars than that one. That's for sure. So that's a Mexican.
Got the binding on it as well.
It does. Yeah. So this is the bound. Most reissues you'll see of this one will be a 62. Right. So it'll be the Japanese ones.
I think Trav's got something 62. Like that.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I love it. 60s.
Well, Mr. Dimmer
Yeah.
And his new Esquire apparently looks a lot like this one.
Yeah.
But this is kind of cool. And yes, you're on the 2019 brand new Mexican-made
Sure.
50s style Telecaster.
You could look at all those things that you read. If you watch too much YouTube, you just go, oh yeah, Mexican made.
I think that series is called the Ventera, but someone will probably correct me because I'm not a
but no, there's quality.
Fender dealer. Should we switch guitars, Sir Nigel?
I want to try my other one.
Let's have a look.
Yes, I've got a special
I'm
one.
going to put the custom shop telly. This is here in the shop if you'd like to come down and give it a whirl. Please excuse the video. We're having a couple of little issues there, but that's all right.
Has anyone logged in to even watch us this morning, Colonel?
We have a lot of people on
Who's
today.
on?
We've got 14,000 people on. Okay, hang on. The Colonel is going to do a risky Colonel-type manoeuvre. Here we go. Talking about myself in the third person, which I like to do constantly.
Indeed. Okay, let me while you're plugging in, I'm going to drop the trivia that we'll have. Neil Hawker Boland's Hawker Heights.
Drooling.
Did you see his news this week?
No.
Occasional guest and certainly friend of the store.
Yes.
And we're going to the Neil Hawker 100%. Guys.
Yeah, I love Neil Hawker.
Has organised a club. So it's within someone else's building. He hasn't suddenly become a millionaire and bought a building in Brunswick.
No.
You can go and find out all of this if you follow Hawker Heights on Facebook.
Yes,
He's got. You know how blues jam nights are a thing, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, he's going, okay, next level is real quality musicians coming together to play a kind of a parlour studio, intimate, unbelievable quality gig.
Wow.
And I do hope he's on stage every time as the kind of the band leader MC and is going to celebrate blues, jazzy, all of those genres. Good on him.
Wow. So tell me this again. So he's gone and he's sub-renting a space.
So he's got it locked in six nights to get it started to see how it goes.
Yeah.
I guess 6 weeks in a row. Look him up on Facebook, Hawker Heights. It's a club. It's a virtual club.
Neil, I know you're out there watching. Did you want to come in and talk about it on the show sometime?
Yeah,
maybe
I reckon. We should do a live show from it all day.
I would love to do that.
You know what the problem with that is? Tell you what, the volume levels in gigs these days is getting ridiculous.
I can barely do a live show from here.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's definitely possible to do.
I like this idea. Like, well, you've got venues who've got quiet nights, and you've got entrepreneurs like Neil.
Yes.
Who are going, I've got some mates, I can pull this together, and it's good for everyone. So
that's awesome.
Here's the news that would get him down here.
Yes.
Is that, so we know the Colonel, Steve Cropper, is the guitarist.
Yes.
We've just established that because one of our guests has made it, right? He very nearly wasn't.
Ooh, I don't know this. This is pretty cool.
Because Belushi had him as recommended, right? Because it's just the connections in the blues community. Yes. He was busy.
Right.
He was off mixing an album for another famous blues player because he was a multi-talented fellow, right?
Yeah, Steve.
So he's off mixing an album, accepting no calls.
Yes.
Like if it's my wife, put her through. If it's a mate, but I'm not taking any phone calls. I'm sitting with the artist next to me.
Yes.
And we are mixing this album. I've got a day to do it. No calls. So Belushi can't get through.
Oh.
And finally, the staff relent to put it through because nobody believes John Belushi's doing this. He had this so many times. Yeah, John Belushi. Yep, right. He's a superstar at this point.
Yes,
right?
yes.
He finally takes the call and he turns to the guy next to him and goes, it's like, this is BS, man. Like, I'd go to New York, I'd deal with some, like, this is not right. And the guy next to him, whose album it is, goes,
yes.
well, screw you, I'll go. I'll play with John Belushi. That sounds fantastic. What a lineup. Huh. And that makes the Colonel go, oh man, if you'd go, then
I'm going to do that.
We're going to finish this in a day. I'll be a day late and I can do it.
Oh, wow.
Who's in the seat beside the Colonel?
Now, okay, we're
talking. Beloved by Neil Boland.
Robin Ford? Whoa!
In one.
What?
In one.
How about that?
So
I did not know that.
You could quite possibly have had Robin Ford in the Blues Brothers.
Wow. How about that? He would have been young. But I love Steve Cropper. I just couldn't imagine anyone else doing that.
Yeah,
that,
the backline
guitar
of
roll.
Stax, the whole story about the bridging of African American blues and the white blues. Otis Redding, Dock of the Bay.
So cool.
We could do a whole show on him on
We
his
could.
own.
We could.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the nature of this band, just all-star, and that's why I love this album so.
Matt
Colonel.
Guitar Murphy, Colonel Steve Cropper.
Yep. Ray Charles.
Ray
John
Charles in the
Hooker.
movie. Aretha. Even I think Paul Schaefer from the David Letterman band
Yes.
was supposed to do something
Yes.
there. I can't remember the full story, but for some reason he didn't do it. So.
Yeah, he was doing something else. He was producing a record for someone at the same time. Willie Hall, the drummer. He was the second drummer in the Blues Brothers band because the first one had a gig or something like that. So he ends up in the movie, Willie Hall.
Yes.
But he's famous. Like he's not a.
No,
Like the theme from Shaft. You familiar with Isaac Hayes?
I am.
We'd not
Love
much
that
guitar
movie.
in that, so we probably won't do it. But he's
Wow.
he's the drummer on the theme from Shaft.
Oh right. Well, I think was it Booker T and the MG's backing band?
Basically,
Someone can
yes.
because Donald Duck Dunn is on.
Steve Cropper and Donald Duck Dunn
That's
are Booker T and the half of the Booker T and the MGs.
Right, not the drummer though.
No.
Different drummer. Okay.
Not
Okay.
Willie Hall.
Amazing. Should we do another song, sir?
I would love to. I'm loving this show because it's my
so
it's
cool.
my number one album of great rock albums.
I think we've mostly got the stream a little bit better.
We got a stream.
We got a stream. We're going. The stream is good. It's my computer's recording ability, Sir Nigel.
Yeah, you need a bit more horsepower.
I need some wallop.
We might have to sub in my new computers. I have got a wallopy new Mac.
Oh, what
But
did you get?
I've got the full-on 13-inch, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig SSD. One of yours.
That's the one I should have. Yeah, that's the upgraded one.
I have a
for me.
very generous employer now at my new gig.
Oh, how's that going? You like it?
Lovely, 2 fantastic weeks. Mate, the music trivia I'm picking up for this show, because I'm sitting next to a great blues player.
Oh, right.
He's
Who's
given
that?
he's given me 3 new Murdered,
Oh.
which I'm going to throw to you and Alan to take up because they're all really high-end musicians.
Oh.
So
Now, what have you got this?
I've got a Strat and a white Strat.
A white Strat. You
I
can't beat a
love a
white
white
Strat.
Strat. I
It's
sold my
lovely.
black Strat last year.
Yes, you did.
And picked up that amazing 1987 Korean white Strat,
Yes.
which featured
Yes.
for the Love Fish and sounded amazing
Oh,
on
good.
Thursday night.
That's cool.
And so I can't go past a white Strat. What's this one's story?
That is a Fender original series, so that's a fairly new one as well. Is it 2017, I think? 60s style. So
All I
This
know about
is-
that is the mint pick guard, 3-ply
yes.
mint pick guard. What else is 60s about?
rosewood board.
Yep.
A slightly different body shape, I think, from memory.
It's very contoured.
yeah,
Very contoured.
Yeah. So
Which is handy this morning after a week of
little bit of
indulgence.
yes, and this is a straight out of the box Mexican Fender, again fairly recent.
Yep.
HSS humbucker single coil. Look, these are. I mean, I think we've got $700 odd on this thing, and
That'd be a great way to start.
great,
It'd
absolutely.
be a great way to start.
Absolutely, can do anything. Now, so Nigel, should we have a crack at?
What else can you do? What else? Because you know
What about some Ray Charles?
could
we
we?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, sir, we
fantastic.
can. So Nigel.
So Ray
let's have a
Charles
look.
trivia.
Yes, go for
So
it.
this
sir.
is in
for
the
it.
store. This is Ray's Music Exchange. Boys are coming to get the instruments, and they've got no money, so they need credit.
Yes.
And it has. This is probably my favourite scene from the movie,
Yes.
and this is why I bought my Strat.
Yes.
Because the kid comes into the store as the Blues Brothers are milling around choosing instruments. Kid comes into the store in the scene and goes to grab off the wall my Strat, and Ray Charles, obviously blind,
Yeah.
pulls out a handgun and goes, and the bullets go left and right at the Strat perfectly. It's like, you damn kids.
That's very much like this shop.
It's pretty much what happens in here, isn't it?
Pull the
And
handgun out.
it's that, the action in this is gone. I don't think the action on this, anything wrong with the action on this piano.
I'll put that in the. Let's play that section as well. The only way I could get this song was to go to YouTube and get.
This
the
is one of
film
those ones
clip,
that isn't
so-
licensed to Spotify, so you need the vinyl or CD or something to get this kind of bit. But
There you
it's
go.
a very special song for me, Colonel. Thank you.
No problem. I always love this tune.
We're doing the dance moves.
We can try some.
No.
We can do a little bit. Okay, let's have a look. So basically, it's A, G, and D with a B minor chucked in.
Okay. Which end of the guitar shall I play it in?
Go fret 2.
Okay.
Go the 5th. Oh, well, okay. No. Go fret 7. We can do it.
So I go here.
Yep.
A.
Yep. So you've got A, you've got your G, you've got your D, and then a B minor, and then an E. That's pretty much it. I reckon you could just about follow along. I'll play the B minor in the spots that you can play, so you can watch what I'm doing.
Okay, I'll try and keep up.
Instant tune.
Yeah.
Folks, let's give it a go. This is Shake a Tail Feather. Oh, if I haven't said hello, Les Paul Gibson. Nice Telly Ventura. Yes, that's correct, Les Paul.
Yeah. Sorry, Les Paul. No Les Pauls today.
Mark Brown is on, one of my students. Hello, Mark Brown. Mark Teague, yes, got the answer. Steve Cropper. Neil Boland. Rebecca Fegan. She's a singer from Fat Ego. So, yes. Excited.
Pressure's on Colonel to get that album out.
Yeah, I know. Neil Boland, thanks, Nigel.
Pleasure.
For the
you
promo.
Get in here and tell us all about it.
Neil Boland, Feb 26. This is the
Feb 26.
Is that the kickoff, Neil? Miss Moses, Brunswick.
Right, there you go.
Hawker Heights Hammond Combo or Trio with a monthly special guest. My music and the guest just keeps up. Okay, all right. Gee, that's fair, Neil. Nothing scary about that.
That sounds like a challenge to the blues players of Melbourne.
I think if you can get up and hang with Neil,
yeah,
you're doing okay.
You're doing
I reckon
fine.
You can do that. But that's kind of daunting. So anyway,
yeah. They're grown-ups, and I think that's why I like going to youthful players and youthful bands, because I look at the chords they're playing and I go, I could do that. Yeah. I don't have that rhythm, but I can play those chords.
I can jump up with this.
You know, Neil actually has 6 fingers.
Yeah, Neil.
I've watched him play. There's no way he only has 5 fingers.
Neil, are you actually going to get anyone to jump up? You're just going to be playing to a bunch of people. Oh, I don't want to do it. Pete Mitchell is on. Pete Mitchell plays saxophone for Chocolate Starfish.
No way.
Yes, he does.
So Craig Harneth produced Chocolate Starfish. The father of Pearl and Lily, who are Hot Glue, who I saw last night.
Oh my God!
2 degrees of separation on the
Mitchell,
show this morning.
Do you know who these people are? Neil Boland. Hey Adam, how's your strat going? Oh, okay. Now they're just talking. It's like a community building.
Yeah, exactly.
They've left us out.
It is.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You know Ray Charles played the saxophone as his first instrument?
Did he?
Yep.
I did not know that.
And in fact, there is... this is when John Belushi's discovering the blues and like going through the whole thing. He gets Ray Charles in to the Saturday Night Live thing, and he plays sax.
All right.
On a segment.
That's awesome.
And
I've never seen
the relationship began, and here he is, back on the keys here.
I love Ray. Ray is for me, going off on my little Ray tangent, but if you want some beautiful melodies with blues to almost a little bit of jazz, but not quite.
Yeah.
Go for Ray.
Oh,
yeah, Ray's the man. Those songs are great. Okay, we're going to do Shake a Tail Feather. Are you ready?
I'm so ready for this.
Let's do it.
Where are we starting again?
Excuse me.
We'll let him play a bit.
All right, we'll let Ray play a little bit.
Let Ray play.
Well, I heard about the fella you've been dancing with all over the neighborhood.
We nonchalantly have to kind of wander around the store and look at things.
Oh, yes.
Didn't you think I could? Well, I know that the boogaloo is out of sight, but the shing-a-ling's a thing tonight. But it's nothing you and
B minor.
baby.
E.
I'm gonna show you how to do it
A.
right. Do it 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 right.
B to G.
Twist it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby.
A. D. Oh, G, sorry. D.
Shake it out, baby.
G.
tail feather. Come on, let me see you shake your tail feather.
G. All the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, man. We'll take these axes.
Naturally. And as usual, I gotta take an IOU.
As usual, Colonel.
Classic, sir.
That is a great
How about
thing.
that?
And that is why this album is my classic album, is because it's the story. We know the lines, we know the plot. It's as thin as, you know.
Did you go to the movies to see this when it came out? Or?
Yes, yeah. And mind blown. Like mind blown in terms of an awakening to a genre of music. And that's to me what this movie's contribution is like another generation.
Yeah.
After you've got this late 60s sort of Thames Delta
Yes.
in the UK with the Rolling Stones exploding with the blues and just rescuing
Yeah.
Muddy Waters and all of those guys. You've got leap forward 20 years and we've all forgotten it. I mean, let's face it, there wasn't a lot of blues in the 70s.
No, that's true.
Badfinger maybe. I don't know. But now, 1980...
These guys really brought it back.
And I mean, these guys are getting old now. Like Aretha's not old, she's still young at that point.
John
but-
Lee was old.
Oh my! The whole John Lee Hooker scene, which is added back in on the extended edition because they found the old. I mean, the producers, the studio on this was so dark on it. It's just like, forget this. This is ridiculous. You overspend your money. You spend it all on cocaine. It
As
costs
you do.
$30 million in today's money to make this movie.
Wow.
You've wrecked the most number of cars of any movie in all time.
That's true. Yeah, they totaled a lot of cars.
Yeah, and but anyway, the ensemble cast. So I think, you know, the Blues Brothers Band as an ensemble, which is what, of course, Neil's attempting to do. Name me your favourite ensemble kind of super band.
Wow.
So in New Zealand, I'll give you a moment. In New Zealand, we have Fly My Pretties.
Okay, tell
So
me about that.
that's an ensemble of Catch a Fire and a whole bunch of people who kind of centre once a year to get together around it. They're Wellington musicians, effectively.
Yes.
There's a series of live albums you can get. That's one of my favourite ensemble bands, and the fact they all get on
Yes.
and produce amazing music. They do it all over the internet, so they're all remote. They use music sharing to then edit the songs according, and
That's kinda cool.
one guy edits it. Them Crooked Vultures would be up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saw them at the what's that tin shed called in Melbourne?
Jeff Shed?
The terrible music venue down. north.
Festival Hall.
Festival
Oh
Hall.
yeah, it's bad. I saw
Crooked-
Patti Smith there.
Saw
That was
Crooked
quite good.
Vultures there. So that's my two. Have you got an ensemble band you love?
Well, I'm going to say what's the ensemble band doing the rounds of Australia at the moment with Davey Lane and Ash Naylor, and I think they're doing a bit of Fire Relief. Is it the Arcs? I could be wrong there, but that's pretty cool. That's a cool
Jeez,
lineup.
All of that lineup that came up to do the Beatles album.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Brett Wolfenstein
Yep.
on drums. Wolfie,
Cram.
who has come in here. He's a lovely gentleman. Cram, yes.
Ash
David
Naylor.
Lane, Ash Naylor. There was one other person I've
Wow.
forgotten. But I think my favourite collection of players would be Eric Clapton's Rainbow Concert.
Ooh, I don't know about
Early
this.
70s. Very hard to get. I've got it on vinyl, an edited version on vinyl. But it's not, you can't it's not released. They haven't re-released it.
Wow.
You can go to YouTube and dig up the whole concert. So it was it was a benefit concert, not the Bangladesh one, but Pete Townsend.
Yep.
Mitchell on drums, was it? I think so. Steve Winwood.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Ronnie Wood.
Oh my goodness.
It's unbelievable. And there's someone else in there I can't quite remember. And so Pete Townsend went to Eric Clapton, who was in basically a drug mess.
Sure, yeah.
And said, "Come on out of retirement." He'd retired. He's like, "Come on, we've got to do this show. We'll get you back." And there are some incredible mistakes that you can hear on the recording.
Yeah.
But the album version I have has taken the best tracks. He does a great version of Little Wing.
Yeah.
And Pete Townsend introduces him, and everyone plays mostly great. And Clapton's strap playing, it's
Almost as good as
super.
mine.
Almost,
Yeah.
not quite.
We could
That's
do-
my favourite. Second ensemble would be us.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Getting together. Now, Sir Nigel, we still seem to be on, which is good. Let's have a look at who else has joined us today. Adam Ray. Adam's just talking to...
They're having a conversation about guitars.
yeah, they are. David Solari says, "Play!" with exclamation marks. Okay, I dig it. I understand what you're saying.
You know,
this is a chat show.
It is, but we do celebrate the music and the albums, that's for sure.
That's
Because,
true.
I mean, the other thing that this is on my top list is because they also, with a similar cast, produced one of the greatest stinkers of all time, which is the Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh, man, yeah. Now, was that John Belushi's brother?
No, it's... no.
Is it John Goodman?
Yes.
All right, okay, yeah, I know the one.
Like an... oh, wow. Like, just don't revive this stuff. I think that's the answer. You young people, don't try and do Shooting the Strings in 20 years' time. Not a good idea.
No, well, it'll date.
Yeah.
It'll definitely date.
It'll definitely date.
Bill Hatzastavros is on. Hello, Bill Hatzastavros. The Party Boys, circa 1983. He likes that. The Party Boys. Don't know if...
I wouldn't know them.
Okay, so it's got John Swan in it, the Angels, and some other... It was like a three super bands with John Swan out the front, I think. Bill, tell me that lineup again, because they had a couple of big hits here.
Actually, you know what? There's another great Australian lineup like that I ran across, which is basically Midnight Oil plus Friends.
Okay.
And they did an environmental kind of... I mean, boy, were they ahead of their time.
Yes, definitely.
Complaining about our treatment of the environment, and it's an incredible song. It's a very Australian moment. I think if we were to know what's the best Australian song in history, that would have to be on the list.
On the list. Speaking of environment, Sir Nigel, how long have you lived in Melbourne for?
I first came here in '97.
Okay. Do you ever recall a time of humidity?
No,
in
it's
the weather
gone
like
crazy,
this?
hasn't it? It's gone crazy.
It's really crazy.
I'm wearing my Orange Sky shirt today because I love them. They're amazing young men. They've just won a New Year's an Australia Day honour.
Oh, wow.
The two founders of Orange Sky Laundry. So
Good on you guys.
salute to them.
Well done.
And of course, they'll be very
Brisbane.
quick to salute the 2,800 volunteers who actually make Orange Sky work at the vans, washing homeless people's clothes, because this would be the most miserable week in history to have been homeless in Melbourne.
Holy moly.
On the
I know.
streets, 43 degrees, and then like 35 degrees with 99% humidity.
Yeah.
Hard to maintain your dignity and mental health.
Aye. Yes, there's a gentleman out in the alley here, and I was thinking, dude, you are lying directly in the sun. No one will, none of the services we've called up to get him help. No, I don't know, I don't know what's going on.
Look, I don't despair, because there are people in places who care, and Orange Sky is one of them. I've got another mate who's just arrived back in Melbourne. He's shocked by the state of homelessness here. He's in a position to do something about it, and he is a get shit done guy. So
I like get shit done,
this
guys.
is what 2020 is about, is that, solving a little bit of that problem. And if you want to pay for a load of washing, it's only $24. Get on orangesky.org.au.
Sounds good. Now, so Nigel, we're heading towards the end. Should we go out with Sweet Home Chicago?
You have
bluesy
just
shuffle.
pressed the three buttons.
Ding! I'm going to switch back to the
life.
Goodbye Mexican Telly. I spoil myself. I'm going to go back to this lovely Telecaster.
I'm going back to the telly too because
Let's do it.
you know what I was so disappointed this morning? You don't have the red telly anymore. What happened to the red telly?
The red telly has sold, so it's
because
gone.
that's-
Goodbye,
that's-
red telly.
So Steve Cropper, red telly with the white binding in this tune on the movie.
Oh, is he playing the right?
To die for.
Oh, I wonder. Muddy Waters had a red telly. When we come back, I'll tell you. I had a wonderful guest in this week.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen. So
Let's talk
we'll
about that. Isn't it weird actually getting to do 3 songs because we started on time, Kettle?
It feels like I'm sitting here going. Normally, this doesn't feel right. It's a long
Show's
show.
very long.
Woo! All right, folks. Here we go.
Sweet Home Chicago. Well, how does it go? Well, stop.
It's a blues in E, folks. And in fact, I think I even know the.
So I can tell you how this goes because the blues in E, it'll be a 1-4-5, right? So it'll be A, B, C, D, and E.
Yes, if you were in fact in the key of A.
Oh, okay.
Sadly, this is in the key of E.
Okay, so music lesson coming.
Sadly.
Music lesson coming.
What
do you
music
mean?
lesson. Okay, so I'll show you an easy way to work out a blues in any key.
Yeah.
Here we go, punters. Okay, I'm going to work everything out from this string. Here is my E string.
I've got one of those too.
All right, so let's say I want to do a blues in G. So I find a G on this string. There's a G. So I know one of my chords is going to be a G something. Okay?
Yep.
Now I need to know the other chord. So I go right beside it. There we go. That's
There's the 4.
Of course, you need to know the notes, but that's the 4. That's a C.
C.
And then I slide up 2, and that's the 5,
D.
and that's a D. So
G, C, D.
G, C, D. If I want A, it's A, D, E. If I want B, B, E, F sharp. And so a lot of the time blues will be a 7 chord. So my blues in G will be G7 to the 4, which will be a C7 or C9. Back to the 1. Now to the 5. Yeah, you can chuck the 5 back in if you want. There we go. This is where Neil Boland. Hey Neil, how about we just get up with you at your club and we do that?
Now, I want Neil. If this works for Neil,
That'd be cool.
I want Neil to do the up and comers night as well.
Yes,
Because
Neil.
I'd like to see him.
You don't know how intimidating you are.
No,
My
I'd
little
like to
friend
see him
Neil.
get the Lovefish along
How about that?
and see how they go with a Neil Boland out front.
Man.
And
Screaming.
get some of these youngsters on, Neil. Give them a chance, mate.
You've always wanted screaming teenage girls at your show, and now
Yes,
you'll
yeah.
get it. You'll get it. They have the ladies. All right. Speaking of ladies and gentlemen.
So it's
Sweet Home
a
Chicago.
1-4-5.
Yeah, right. It's a 1-4-5
E.
in E. So I'm going to make it a shuffle.
E, F, G, A, B.
That's it. So A. That's it. And then some sort of B7.
I've got a B7. It's my favourite chord.
Love it. A7. And then E shuffle. Now, if you don't want to do a turnaround, you just go back to B.
Okay.
Let's do it, folks. Here we
It
go.
might be deliberate, but I can't actually hear myself that loudly, but that's
I
okay.
don't know. Just play. There we go. All right, you ready, folks?
I do like the setting on my Moore this morning. It's a dirty 80s.
Ooh.
We're in the dirty 80s.
Hello, sir.
Everyone gets
There
a
we go.
turn. That's what the blues about.